Here with my boy Steve from 6th Street Coffee in Coachella.
We're the only coffee shop in Coachella, which is really cool. We're the first coffee shop, I'm assuming, like in a long time or in general, which is pretty dope too. It's really cool to be a part of the community out here, and the fact that I live down the street, my kids go to school out here, and I'm doing something that I have passion for and doing it for the city that I live in.
Word.
Are we rolling or what?
Yeah.
Oh, we're rolling? Okay.
Oh, wow. I'm good at it.
No, so you got your phone over here facing you.
And then the camera on you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because at first, when I was first doing the podcast, I would have the camera just like one shot for both people. And it's better to just have like the...
Like kind of like switch back
and forth. What I've been doing recently, I'm still kind of like working, and this is my 31st episode, so I'm still kind of like also learning along the way. I've been like cutting the screen in half. So you show like both people, and then that way the reactions and stuff.
Yeah.
But eventually, I do want to get like 2 good cameras, and like the audio. This audio is pretty good too. It's a Rode mic, so it's a point-and-shoot microphone. I would like to have like maybe like in 2 weeks, I'm gonna get the whole setup like how the podcasters have it with the arms and then the individual mics for each guest and the headphones. Like that's gonna.
Like I like this dude. That I watched, Matt Diavella, he's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, and
minimalist, right?
Yeah, minimalist guy, and like he's about like starting off with like people worry about too much. Oh, well, I don't have this, I don't have that, and this is dope, bro, because you're doing big things with what you got.
Yeah, and if you see that tripod's a little broken, and I'm still using it, still works for me. Like
I got that same tripod, I think, from my.
And then this other tripod, actually, my friend bought it at yard sale for $1.
Yeah. So
it's not, like the camera, I just bought the camera, so that one's a little good quality, but I'm just using what I had. Like before this, I had like this cheap camera, like low quality, and I was still trying to make videos. But again, even then, even though I was doing stuff, I wasn't fully doing. I knew I could have been doing more. That's what I am right now. Like I just want to do as much as I can. No excuses for the next whenever.
Like, dude, like we could come up with a million excuses why you shouldn't have started. My machine, bro, it's a single group head machine. Like I could have said, like, no, I should wait until I have a bigger machine. But what if this opportunity doesn't come again?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm working with a small machine, and dude, we're pumping out drinks still. So we could come up with a bunch of excuses, leading back to that point earlier, as why we shouldn't start today. But if today is now.
Yeah.
It's about taking, the
what can you do today to maximize your day, maximize your goals, your sets? That's what it's all about. What's so since you're like on to coffee, what's the number one coffee that you recommend, or the one that's personally like your favorite? Or
well, I like just black coffee.
Just black.
I like tasting, that coffee that comes from this particular region. Country. Whatever it is, that's what I like. And it's for some people and it's for not. Some have to add cream and sugar, some don't. And some of the coffee that we serve here, people will realize like, whoa, I don't even need to add cream to this, or I don't need to add sugar to this. This is super delicious. I could taste those winey, chocolatey notes. I could taste those floral notes, and people really are starting to dig that. Yeah. And it's cool because that's what we brought. Like the fact that people are
you're educating people.
Educating
that is
people.
More than just I'm tired, let me get some coffee.
Exactly.
Like you're actually looking into it.
Exactly. But as far as like what people are ordering here, bro, it's a pretty small and basic menu, but like the cortadito is pretty popular.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken from the Cubano cortado, which is 4.5 ounces. It's espresso and sugar and a little bit of steamed milk, but I added 4 more ounces to it, so people get a little bit more bang for the buck. And we use lechera, condensed milk, to sweeten it up. So there's a balance between coffee and sweetness, and it levels itself out, right? It balances itself out. So you have, like I said, that balance of sweetness in coffee, and it's a small 8-ounce cup, bro, and it's good. It does the job.
Yeah.
Right? People are coming in here just to get the cortadito. And then, other than the coffee and we also have our delicious pastries that people are digging too.
Do you make the pastries here? Do you get them from other local vendors? Or?
Well, we have our pastries are vegan for the most part.
Oh, okay.
But like super delicious stuff. I'm not a vegan, but I've noticed that I wanted to start off with like with
have options for those.
yeah, with the options and have just a select, right? But I've noticed that people that weren't even vegan were coming out here, bro, to try this vegan stuff.
That's cool.
And people were coming out from other cities across the valley to come in, you know, and to try them here. And I noticed that, and I'm like, dude, I think I'm sold. I think this is what we're gonna do.
I really like the design you have too. It's really minimalistic. Like everything's just nice and simple. And
well, that's kind of how we're starting off right now, right? Just kind of like with what we have. Eventually, we'll work into like, you know, doing some stuff on the walls,
artwork.
Exactly. You know, we're the city of like, you know, of arts and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So why not embrace that in here too? You know, why not show it off? And that's what we want to do. And that's why the walls are white, because I want to throw some, you know, a little bit of color in here so that it pops off. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so, you know, reaching out to the local artists.
Oh,
hit me up.
I know this one guy. His name's Mo. He's been hitting me up. We're actually gonna have like something coming up soon, and he does like great like handwork, like paintings, like murals and like that stuff, like graffiti type stuff.
Sure.
Maybe I'll let him know.
Yeah,
I mean,
most
just look at him, and there's a lot of talented artists out there that are willing to just work. And
oh yeah, most
and especially since that's what they love doing.
Yeah.
And then just bringing creatives together, and that's what's cool about the podcast, because I just want to. When I started the podcast, I wanted to focus more on like locals, and then mostly on this side of the valley, because if there's any like people making content, maybe it's in Palm Springs, but there's no one really on this side of the valley, especially Coachella, Indio, like this side. I'm from Indio. I grew up in Indio. Well, so just the podcast, a lot of people have been supporting it, and like I said, this is episode 31, and so far, like you see people, there's people that want to support locals. People want to help each other out, and then I've had a couple guests like connect with each other. Like some guys having a basketball tournament, then he connected with another guy that I had that makes like T-shirts, and he's gonna be vendor, and another guy who makes tacos. He's gonna vendor at that event. Cool. So I'm connecting like the dots, and
that's what it's all about.
That's
what it's all about. It's about, you know, supporting each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And since, you know, opening this place, man, I've realized that there's so much talent out there, and there's so much hustle out there, bro. I mean, from people doing podcasts to artists to doing music, coffee, you know.
Yeah.
There's just so much random stuff that people are good at, you know. And like I said, that talent is out there, bro. You know, shout out to you too, bro, for doing your thing on this.
Thank you. No, yeah, I just want to, like, I love the valley. Like, I hate the people that always say the valley's boring, or there's nothing to do here, or like, oh, it's only cool during like the winter. And it does get hot. Like, I'm not gonna say it's not like in August it's super hot, but it's so beautiful here. And when I had the interview with the mayor, he was talking about these billionaires and millionaires, so they fly the private jets to come hang out in our city. Exactly. And we're saying like, this place sucks. Like, you got to think about where the people that know, they come here for their fun, and we're taking it for granted sometimes.
Yeah. The valley's beautiful, man. You know, I was just driving up Grapefruit the other day, and you know, I was like, to the distance, you know, I saw the hills, and I'm like, man, this is amazing. This is God-given, right?
Yeah.
It's really pretty out here, bro. And you know, you live out here if you live out here, I get it. You see it every day, and it kind of gets old. But if you really just take time, just to embrace what
if you get out, like out of like even just California, because California, it's really a lot of mountains everywhere you go. But if you go to like anywhere else in the U.S., it's flat. There's nothing there. Like in the East Coast and all that stuff, you have blizzards and all this stuff. Is just like buildings, and here it's almost like a paradise, to be honest. Like it's
exactly. Yeah, I think, you know, I might be wrong in this, but California, like, there's snow, you know, up in, you know, what is it, Mammoth Mountain in July. But then you come down here, and it's freaking hot. It's like 120 degrees, right? So
even just here with the trend, like, I think there's still snow, and it's like 90, 100 degrees, like right here. 20 minutes from here, you can see the snow. Like, where do you get palm trees and snow as a background? Like, that's crazy. Like,
no, the valley's really pretty. Like, I lived in Phoenix, you know, for like 8 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when I first moved out here, you know, because I was born in Indio.
Yeah.
I was born in Indio, and then my family just kind of moved around throughout the valley, and then we made our way to San Diego, and you know, from San Diego back out here to the valley, and then to Phoenix. So we just kind of like moved around a lot. But in 2006, I came back to live with my dad, And I told myself, like, I'm only gonna be here for a minute, and then I'm gonna jet back to Phoenix. Like that's my home. But as I got older, bro, I started realizing, like, man, this is my home, right? Indio and the Valley, and then we moved out here to Coachella, and I've been out here since.
Yeah.
And so it's we take it for granted sometimes, right? We don't really appreciate what we're given. And I'm at that point right now, and I guess I'm getting old, right? Where I'm starting to like really appreciate everything.
With age, you always look back and appreciate, like, even the sacrifices your parents made,
most of
the risks they took. Like when you look at it from the art perspective, as you get older, you're like, man, they actually did this. Like, man, that's crazy. Like I couldn't imagine myself doing the types of stuff that we're doing, but I guess it's just like life.
Yeah, like I didn't really start realizing a lot till I hit 30. Like I'm gonna be 31 in August. Now I'm like, dang, like now I see a lot. Now I see the picture. I see everything.
No, well, you're still young. Like
I'm still young, but now I'm a little bit more wiser, I think, than I was
like,
in my earlier 20s, of course.
You probably have like a third of your life. Now you're about to live like the next 30, where it's like gonna be living your dream or doing the things that, with all the life experience you get along the way. So that's pretty cool. Like that's how I look at it. Like we're all gonna live. Whether I know we don't control accidents or health problems, you never know that stuff, but we're most likely gonna live to like in the 70s, 80s, and especially with technology back, we gotta think long term.
Yeah, and then you gotta drink more coffee to live longer. So that's the key. That's the fountain of youth.
Drink water and drink coffee.
Yeah, drink water and coffee.
So if you want to live longer, you gotta drink coffee, and specifically, you gotta come check out 6th Street Coffee in Coachella.
We're the only coffee shop in Coachella, which is really cool. We're the first coffee shop, I'm assuming, like in a long time or in general, which is pretty dope too. It's really cool to be a part of the community out here, and the fact that I live down the street, my kids go to school out here, and I'm doing something that I have passion for and doing it for the city that I live in. I kind of grew up in too. It's a big plus. There's so much heart out here, bro.
Yeah.
And, there's so much culture, and the fact that I'm embracing this culture with coffee culture, it's really dope to me, man.
That's
and
great.
The city itself, they're really embracing what we're doing here because they understand too that this is not your typical coffee shop. It's different.
Yeah. But it's local, and like you said, you're local. It's based in Coachella, and again, right now it's all big chains. Like we all get big chains, the Starbucks, the Coffee Bean, and sometimes once you get too corporate, like it's not the same as having like a local shop. Do you got in contact with the mayor to start the shop, or
no, man? Where I used to work, the mayor showed up, with a colleague of his, and I recognized him. I used to work at a restaurant. I would run a bar out there in Palm Desert, and I recognized him. I'm like, yo, man, what's up? You're the mayor of Coachella. I live out there. He's like, oh, what's up? We started talking about the city, and then the new library came up in the convo, and he pointed out that they, the city wanted to put like a cafe inside the library, and he just said that they were looking for people. And I told him, well, I got a business plan, because it's been something that I've been wanting to do for the longest time, man.
Oh, you always thought about this?
Bro, this didn't just start, like, oh, I met the mayor today, and he mentioned something, so I think I'll do it. It's something that's been in the works for 4 to 5 years, bro. And so when he told me that, I was like, man, this could be it.
Yeah.
Because prior to this place, I was looking elsewhere. This is something I wanted to do. Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to open somewhere. It just happened to be like a perfect time, bro. Right from the day that I met him, that was the first day I met him. The first day I ever spoke to him. From that point, everything just kind of started falling into place.
He's such a good guy. Like, that's his plans to and the stuff he's been doing by having all these events, restructuring the whole downtown. Now it's a hub. Like, it's still in the process, but now you have a coffee shop. You walk down the street, like all these restaurants that have a Coachella bar, they have the events. Like he was telling me, he wants to open like more bars and more stuff to have people just come out to downtown to hang out.
I could most definitely see downtown, Coachella being, more than just a convenience spot. Like, oh, I'm here to do this. I'm here to do this. No, I'm coming to do this. Like, it's now a destination spot. And, we're just super stoked that 6th Street Coffee is now part of that, because people are coming from across the valley to come and check out this new, hip coffee shop. It's not just a convenience to the people that live behind the shop or down the street, but it's actually somewhere where they know that, I'm going to go check out this spot. I heard they have really good coffee. Their pastries are super delicious. So it's now become, it's what I wanted it to be, a destination spot, not a convenience. I'm going to walk down the street and get some coffee. Because that's everywhere. You walk down the street, you get coffee at the gas station.
It's
corporate.
That's a good way to look at it, to have a destination spot. Yeah. And with the library too, so the people that come in, they have a place. Let's go get coffee. Let's go hang out here. Read a book. How does the library? Do you guys get good business with the people coming in from the library?
Yeah, most definitely. I do notice that when the library is open, that we get there's more foot traffic in here. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they're closed 2 days out of the week, so I do notice too that there's decline in service or customers that day. And but I also notice too that we're not relying on the library or the city being open, but we're building an audience already. So like I said, we've only been open since April 6th. It's not even 2 months yet.
That's crazy,
right? So every day I see.
No, and I've heard a lot more people start talking about it, because I found out about your shop. I didn't know about it until I had the mayor on the podcast. We had a conversation, and he mentioned like opening the shop in the library, and I was like, the coffee shop. And he was telling me like that back in the day, you go to your local coffee shops, you go to your local like owned by locals, businesses, the places, and now the last like 10, 15 years, we've gone super corporate. Everybody just wants a chain, and then that's all that's been happening. So he wants to bring that back.
Right. Well, people, locals or wherever you live, right? Whatever city you live in, people are really, going for that mom and pop shop again.
Yeah.
They'd rather stay in the boutique hotel than in these grand, hotels. They'd rather go to the boutique coffee shop than in these other places, or go have dinner at this restaurant that's not a chain. Are really going
out that experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about experience, bro. And that's the key word, is that we want to offer an experience of what we do here at 6th Street Coffee. It's about, and I say this a lot, it might sound cheesy just because I say it so much, but it's literally about putting an experience in your cup. Because what we do here with the coffee, bro, it's important to me that we're tasting the coffee that is from this farm in the middle of El Salvador, or somewhere in Africa, bro. That itself right there is big, because there's a lot that goes between the time that the coffee is actually picked to where it reaches your cup. There's so much story going on right there, bro. And it's for you to enjoy that experience means so much to me, man. Like it's important.
So you guys get like specific different strains of beans from different parts of the world and stuff?
Well, who we partnered up with, where we get our beans from, Arcade, they're from Riverside. Whatever they got in, that's what we're going to order. So we have like a list of things that they have. Like I believe right now the list is like there's a few from Ethiopian. There's a couple of bean coffees from Ethiopia. There's one from China, which is really delicious.
I'm a little like ignorant about coffee. Do you really taste the difference when it comes to different places?
Yeah, most that. Some are a little bit more earthy, some are a little bit more chocolatey notes. We're getting coffee from Central America right now. So cool. So whatever coffee they have, bro, I'm going to be switching it up here too, just because I don't want to be serving the same stuff. People want to try different things.
Yeah.
I don't want to serve that year-round stuff, because if you're serving year-round stuff, chances are that your coffee's not good. Coffee's a fruit, and there's a rotation in it. You don't eat, watermelons from Coachella year-round.
Yeah.
You got to go elsewhere. Exactly. There's seasons for it, right? And the same thing with coffee. If it's not in season in Africa, then it's in season in Central America. So, we're going to be switching it up, and that was really big to me, and that's what I believe people are going to really dig.
How long have you been into like the coffee business, or like before you started the shop? How long did you have, or what got you to have that drink to start your own coffee shop? Because that's a little.
Frankly, I've never really been good at anything. So once I really liked coffee, bro. I was like, man, this stuff is pretty good, and I knew at that point that all right, there's got to be more to the story, right? There's more than just your morning cup of instant coffee, or your your drive-through
Pure,
cup of coffee,
yeah.
you know, whatever. There's more to that, bro. And there really is. Once I started doing more research into coffee, there's so much behind it that people don't even realize. You know what I'm saying? So once I started doing that research, I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. I love coffee. I want to do this. What do I got to do? And so I just started, you know, like I said, researching more. I took a course that taught me different brewing methods and, you know, where the origin of coffee, and pretty much this course also taught me how to run a shop too.
Oh,
so it was like a business and management class to open up your own coffee shop. And this was back in 2016. So, I mean,
so you already,
yeah,
so
it's already been in the works.
That's really good that you already were preparing for this,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
out of nowhere the opportunity came across, and that's what we have to do. Sometimes we don't have, we're thinking like our dreams are too far ahead, or they're not going to get done, so you don't even invest your time into it. But sometimes when you invest your time, you invest into what your passions, you're surprised at how many opportunities actually show up, and that's so cool that you got it.
You know, what's funny, bro, is that like so like in 2016, for example, when I took this class, and then somebody would have said, "See, you're not going to open up your shop till 2019." I probably would have been like, you know what, that's too far ahead. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to focus on doing something for tomorrow. And I think that's the beauty, bro, of not knowing. Because if you did know, you wouldn't do anything. Like you think that's too far out, or like, you know, I don't got time. I want it today. But waiting also builds you up. If I would have opened when I wanted it to, like with a different place, you know, then I probably would have messed up somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
So I thank God that within that time where this dream, you know, kind of like started to today, I've learned so much, you know, and so much has happened ever since, you know, where I started working at this coffee shop in Palm Springs. Everything from there just kind of started aligning itself for this to finally happen.
Oh, so you worked at a coffee shop over there too? So
in Palm Springs, yeah, I used to work at a shop in Palm Springs, and I learned so much right there too. And like I said, from that point to today, you know, the people I've met along the way, the experiences, you know, just learning and wanting to know more, just kind of like led up to this point in time, bro, which is really dope. That's why it's important that, you know, you just, you know, you don't push it, just allow it to happen.
Yeah, just be prepared though. Like you're saying, you took a course, you were doing this, you were doing research, and all that just opened up. Like when the opportunity came, you were ready. Yeah. So even if you weren't 100% ready, you at least had a couple steps ahead of where you should have.
Exactly. You know, and just staying persistent, never giving up. Man. You know, I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, never giving up, because obviously, you know, we all get to that point where we want to give up on something. Yeah. You know, it almost seems so far-fetched that, you know, you just want to give up. And, you know, shout out to my friends and, you know, and my wife who would tell me, you know, just stay, you know, it'll all kind of fall in place. And it does. It all falls in place. As long as you're working towards it. Yeah. Once you've given up, then you're not working anymore. You're done. You're clocked out, right?
And life is long too. Just we think we need to get it by next week, by next month, by the end of the year, but sometimes it could take 3 years for you to like actually realize what you want to do. Right. And sometimes it could take longer. Some people's dreams or some people's businesses take 10 years, 15 years for them to actually get the opportunity, and just never give up. Like that's a good message.
I remember when this came, like when I had this as an idea, right? You know, or when it became a dream, I was like, man, if I don't have my shop by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna give up. I'm 30 now, and I got my shop, bro.
Wow, that's cool. Do you believe in like the universe, like attraction, the law of attraction?
Sure, to a point, I guess, right? But I believe if you work hard and you keep doing what you want to do, you know, working towards achieving that, then you can get it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's all in what you do, right? In the time, what you invest. You know, pretty much like one of those things you reap what you sow, right? So don't waste your time and just work hard for it. You know what I'm saying?
And right now, it's so easy to waste time in today's with social media, with Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff. Like every day we just have so many different mediums, and you get sucked into these apps or these shows, and then you don't actually invest the time. Like some people like could binge like a whole 7 hours of like a show, or like go to the movies and spend $40, but they don't want to spend $40 in a book or read a book or take a course or those type of things.
Like what's Netflix? Like I've heard Netflix, right? But man, I haven't sat down and watched Netflix in such a long time, bro. Just because you know you get so caught up in working and then working towards what you want, you know, you just forget about all that stuff that it's easy for others to just get caught up in.
Yeah.
Right? Like binge watching, like where does binge watch? Where does binge watching?
Because you don't have time to take in full advantage.
Exactly.
That's the same way. Like, well, before 2019, probably like since November, I've been just going full in, like making videos, everything. I've been doing YouTube since 2015, but I was always doing it like kind of like a side hustle thing, not consistently. And this year, I've uploaded over 90 videos. Last year, I only uploaded 57, and we're not even halfway through the year. So like this year, I just decided to just grind it out, and especially with the podcast. I've been having this dream to do the podcast for so long, and I never just decided to start because I was like, oh, I gotta get a better equipment. I gotta get better at this. You know, making those excuses we all make. But just start it with whatever you have.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where we're at right now.
Exactly, man. That's actually it right there. Just start with what you have.
Yeah.
You know, we're so good, bro, at making excuses. You know, we create these excuses. If we apply that creativity to something that matters, bro, then you'll have your stuff in no time. Like whatever it is that you're working for, applying your creativity to something that matters rather than something that doesn't. Like excuses, anybody can make up an excuse.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Just, you know, working towards, you know, applying that creativity to, you know, getting to where you want to be. We're all creative, man. We're just creative in using our creative gifts for the negative. Right.
Oh, that's a lot of negativity, and that's what it is now. Like all the headlines, everything that you see, it's always something negative, and they do sell that stuff because it works. Like people want to see like the latest scandal, the latest rumor, the latest whatever, and the whole culture is just about negativity, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah, and it does, bro. Like some people, you know, threw in their 2 cents about this place, like something like that wouldn't work in Coachella. Well, why not? Right?
Yeah.
You know, why not? Well, let's try it.
Let's make it work, you know?
Exactly. That's why it's about, it's you know, it's not me introducing coffee to the city of Coachella. It's just, you know, embracing what's already out here with coffee, right? People have coffee. You know, coffee's everywhere, bro. It's a universal language. Everybody drinks coffee like they drink water, you know? So it's a coffee shop for, you know, the locals out here, bro. Like, and a lot of people, man, like I said, they really embrace it, bro. They really, you know, they're really taking their cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying?
What's your take on the big chains like Coffee Bean, Starbucks? How do you view them? Like what they do, or do you think it's cool, or do you think they're just trying to make that money? They don't care.
Well, to a point, but it all started with a dream.
Yeah.
Right. It all started with, there was one Starbucks. You see what I'm saying? There was one, you know, Pete's Coffee, and then it starts somewhere, and then they get big along the way. It's sad that sometimes you lose the passion behind it.
Yeah.
Right. And now it becomes about money. You know, so that's sad, and then you lose a lot of, you know, like the quality of the bean and the quality of drinks, and nobody really cares because now you're bringing in people that I just need a job. And this is my job, is supporting coffee. You know, one of the things here is that we want to focus on is, you know, the quality of the coffee.
Quality
right?
over. Yeah.
Exactly. But there are other big chains, you know, coffee shops that started off small, like, you know, for example, like Stumptown and Blue Bottle Coffee and Tallahassee. So these guys are pretty big now, and they still maintain that quality. So there's nothing against, I don't have anything against corporate businesses, right? It's everyone's dream to like be big.
Expand, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't mind 5 shops. I wouldn't mind, you know, 5 shops and a couple other businesses, right? That's the dream. Like, I don't put limits, you know. People say sky's the limit, but beyond the sky, there's
more.
There's more, bro. There's no limit, right?
Yeah,
you put a limit to yourself.
And then you don't set those like smaller goals, because if you set the smaller goals, you're not going to work as hard.
Yeah, this is a smaller goal. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you read the 10X rule by Grant Cardone. It's like a self-help book. He talked about like pushing your goals 10 times of what your original goal was, even if it sounds crazy, and work 10 times harder than you were going to work for the original goal.
Right. So
that way, let's say for example, your goal is to make $1,000, but then you say, okay, I'm at 10X that goal, so now I make $10,000. Now I work 10 times harder than I was when I was going to make those first $1,000. So maybe you might not get to 10,000, but you end up with 7K instead of the original 1,000, just because you were limiting your mindset.
Yeah, exactly. How do I take this place and double it up. First I got to maintain this place.
Well, you got to make sure
and
this is
then set myself up right to make sure that there's another 6th Street Coffee somewhere down the line. I'm not one to be complacent, right?
Yeah.
I'm not.
So you're here every single day? Do you work
daily, bro?
Every single day, no days off?
No days off. No days off.
So I'll take 6:30 to 7.
It's Monday through Saturday, 6:30 to 7, and then Sunday 7 to 4.
Oh, okay.
But I guess Sunday's that little time where I could clock out early and chill.
Yeah.
But still, my mind stays working all day.
Yeah, even if you're home, you're just thinking about it the whole time. What are you going to do tomorrow? What you need? The errands you got to run, the bill.
Exactly.
It's
Most stuff. But it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where you ask for it, and I was ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's fun, man. And I got a good team behind me, right? I got baristas that are here, and they see my passion. And I tell them, you don't have to have the same passion I do, but just understand my passion, that it's serious. And they totally dig it, they understand it, and they're about making that quality stuff, bro.
And well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Awesome,
and definitely we could definitely do more content together maybe in the future. Once I have my whole setup, like I was telling you, we can have another session there and just talk about whatever. And you guys definitely need to come check out 6th Street Coffee. I'll put all the links in the description for his all his information where you guys can contact him and check out this place. Like, you like going to Starbucks, you like going to these coffee places, check out somebody that's doing it locally and somebody that is living his dream and helping out the community. Like that's ultimately what we all want. We all want to have these kind of following our passions. So come support, and then that's pretty much it.
Most of that.